welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting yet another reading vlog. So I'm quite excited about the couple of books that I'm planning on reading in this video, so let me just jump into talking about those real quickly. First of all, we have one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and I'm so happy that I have my hands on a copy now, and that is Graveyard Shift by Emma Rio. It's so tiny. Like, it's literally only 120 pages, or no, because the last part of this is like an excerpt from If We're Villains. It has a cocktail menu at the back and a playlist. Wait, that's so fun. It's 108 pages, so it's very, very short, but I am incredibly excited about this one. I've been waiting for it for so long, so the fact that I finally can read it, I just can't wait. Literally the tagline is it's so good. It says 5 night shift workers, an ancient cemetery, an open grave. And the top review on this says, this place has everything. Rats, fungus, thrills, chills, mystery, hostile incidents, a rad, crisp, creepy read. I feel like this is gonna be like the perfect late September, early October read. I cannot wait for this, and I really hope I love it. It says it takes place on one dark October evening. I really hope I'm not hyping this up too much for myself. But like, just conceptually, this sounds like my kind of story, you know? So I need to read this. I need to read this. Okay, I'm gonna move on from that one now though, because I need to chill. But I have 2 other books on this TBR as well. The second one being The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. This is a historical mystery kind of story that is following the daughters of like notable literary, I don't know if they're all villains. Are they all villains? Notable literary, like Gothic literary characters, basically. And then the last book that I want to read is The Whispering Dead by Darcy Coates. I read The Haunting of Ashburn House a couple of weeks ago, and I loved the vibes. Like, it wasn't my favorite, like, kind of creepy story, but the vibes were there. And that's all I really need. So I've been wanting to read The Whispering Dead for quite a while. I believe we're following our main character, Kira, who can talk to ghosts or something. She lives in an abandoned groundskeeper's cottage, so I guess I kind of had like a cemetery theme going on here, which I'm not mad about. So yeah, this is kind of the last book that I want to read this week as well. So I wanted to keep my reading plans pretty chill this week, because I have something else that's kind of been taking over my time recently. I literally only got it yesterday, but I know I'm gonna be spending all my time working on this because I finally got Animal Crossing for my Switch. I got my Switch at the very beginning of last November, I think, and I've only had 1 game for it this entire time, but I finally decided to break down and buy Animal Crossing. Yes, I'm like 4.5 years late to the trend, but I don't even care, honestly, because I have started my island. It looks sad, as you would expect, because I've only been working on it for like a day. So I will be spending a lot of my time playing Animal Crossing this week as well, so I didn't want to like go too crazy with the reading plans because I also want to like do that. But it's still kind of autumnal because I really want like an autumn themed island. I've seen some like crazy islands that are like so beautiful, which I know I will never be able to do, but like the general vibe that I want for my island is autumn all year round, you know? So like it's still on theme for the vlog. But anyway, here are my reading plans for the week. I'm very, very eager to get to all of them. Obviously, Graveyard Shift is the one that I need to read. It's probably gonna be the one that I read first. I mean, it should take me like no time at all to read because it's so short. So yes, reading plan number 1 is this. I don't know if I'm gonna start any reading today, honestly, because I kind of want to spend the day playing Animal Crossing, but tomorrow I'm gonna get into this and hopefully it'll be really good. But anyway, I feel like that's just about everything that I have to share with you guys in this intro. I don't have too many plans for this week aside from reading. I think I'm also going to be setting up my October reading journal spread, which I cannot wait to do because I have like kind of a fun idea, I think, for it, so we'll see how that goes. It'll be something slightly different from what I normally do because I feel like I've been in a rut with my reading journal. I feel like all of my spreads have started to look the same a little bit, so I wanted to try doing something slightly different. So that's kind of, you know, my plan, but I'll do that maybe tomorrow. Should I do that tomorrow too? I might. Anyway, I think now that's everything I have to share with you guys in this intro. Obviously, I'm really hoping that this will be a very autumnal cozy vlog. Oh, I am gonna watch Over the Garden Wall. I'm gonna start watching it because it's finally fall. It's officially fall. There was no way I was gonna start watching that before fall because that would just feel wrong. But now that fall is finally upon us, it is Over the Garden Wall time. So I will be doing that as well. But I think now that's everything that I had to share with you guys in this intro. So I'm going to see you guys probably tomorrow to do a little bit of reading, probably a little bit of journaling, and then I'll come back probably once I finish this. I don't really think giving you guys a halfway update is going to be a great idea because it's only 100 pages. So I'm gonna finish this and then I'll get back to you. So it is 2 days later now. Initially I was going to like start actually filming things for this vlog yesterday morning, and then I decided to instead play Animal Crossing for the whole day. I really should not have acquired this game right before I needed to like start filming this video because I don't want to read right now. All I want to do is play Animal Crossing because this is how I get with like every new thing that comes into my life. Just like, yes, let me fixate on this for the next like 2 weeks and then I'll get over it. But you know, right now we're still in that like Animal Crossing obsession kind of thing that I have going on. But I thought I could show you guys my little islander because I think she's very cute. Let me put her in one of the little sweaters that I made for her because I had no clue that you could like design custom sweaters. So it is just very fun. Obviously I've made her some Halloween-esque things. Also yesterday I did go to my friend Mackenzie's island. I think I've talked about Mackenzie a few times and it was so fun. She also gave me some pumpkins, so I am growing pumpkins, which makes me incredibly excited. So here she is in her little jack-o'-lantern sweater that I made for her in her room, which I'm having such a fun time like putting together her house. Like, I'm gonna get a new room tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm sorry I'm talking about Animal Crossing so much, but like, this is what I'm doing right now, okay? I do have a reading update. Like, I did finish this book, which we're gonna talk about in a second. But I want to give my little islander like a little lab situation because I got a human skeleton and a microscope. And I was like, what can I do with this? And then I was like, bam, she's gonna be a natural historian. So I made like little posters. I'm so excited. Like, I am well and truly obsessed. I'm having such a fun time. But I just spent the last like hour and a half fishing, so I think I've had enough of Animal Crossing for the day. So, you know, it'll be very exciting tomorrow morning when I open it up and, you know, see my new room and whatnot. It'll be good. But Animal Crossing updates aside, I'm sorry, I'm really not gonna spend like too much time talking about it in this video, but that is what I've been doing for the last like 4 days straight. But anyway, I did read the entirety of Graveyard Shift. It was a nice shorty, which I definitely appreciated. And I liked it. I definitely enjoyed it. But for me personally, I just never really enjoy novellas quite as much as I like full-length novels, especially because this one is like very short. It's like only 100 pages. So I really liked what she did with the story and I was very intrigued. It definitely had like some eerie vibes going on throughout it, but it wasn't my favorite. But let me like give you a little bit of an idea as to what this is about. I don't want to say too much because it is so short. But basically we are following a group of 5 people. I don't think all of them are students, but they all live in this like very small academic kind of town. And every night at midnight they meet up at this church's graveyard at midnight because you cannot smoke cigarettes within like 100 feet of the campus or so. So this is kind of like a place where all of these people have like found was a good place to go smoke basically. So they all have kind of formed this little group. They have like a group chat. They like see each other every night basically. Literally the first sentence of the book is they met in the cemetery every night at midnight. So I definitely really enjoyed the first part of this book when they were in the graveyard. I feel like the vibes were definitely very spooky, very eerie. I liked that a lot. As the book progresses, it kind of loses that like creepier vibe and it does kind of go more into like dark academia, but I really like the kind of double meaning of the title because obviously it does take place in a graveyard, but this book is also set over the course of like 7 or so hours, from the hours of midnight to like 8 a.m. or something, so like it's a graveyard shift. So even though I am a little bit disappointed that it isn't set in the graveyard like for a more substantial chunk, I do really like the title and I feel like it is a very fitting title for this book. But basically they are meeting in this graveyard and one night when they get there they discover this hole in the ground that was not there last night. This is a very, very old churchyard, so like theoretically nobody should be properly getting buried here. So they're trying to figure out what's going on with that basically. They're all kind of aware of it. They think it's weird, but then they kind of go their separate ways. But 2 of them end up staying a little bit past when the others leave and they kind of notice this person kind of lurking into the graveyard. They end up hiding behind some tombstones and they see this guy dumping a bag of dead rats into this open hole and burying them there, basically. So the rest of this book kind of follows them as they're trying to figure out why. And again, I don't want to say too much, but like I really enjoyed the kind of turn that this book took because it starts with like this very spooky like, oh my god, what if he's like killing somebody, or what if he's a grave robber? So I just kind of thought like that whole element to it was interesting. I also enjoyed the group of characters that we were following. Obviously 100 pages is a very short span of time to like properly develop 5 people, but I feel like their voices were pretty well defined. You did get different kind of POV chapters from each of them and you kind of learned a little bit more about their situation and their life and like why they are still in this town even though a lot of them are well past the age of like being in school. I also just love Emma Rio's writing. Like something about it, it's not like flowery, it's not very like beautiful or anything. I just think it's cool, honestly. Like the way that she describes things sometimes, I'm like, that is a stunning sentence. That is a stunning sentence that I wish I would have written. A small example of that being her describing somebody saying something with a ghoulish gravitas, which I thought was just a like solid alliteration, solid imagery going on with that. That would like, Just something about those two words being put together. I was like, that's good. I also feel like this is just such a good October book. There's definitely that fall imagery going on there, but it's also very spooky because it takes place in a graveyard at night in the beginning. And I just really loved like this whole little paragraph. It says, an oak tree even older than the church squatted in one corner, dropping acorns and orange leaves every October until the branches were bare, and jack-o'-lantern mushrooms took up residence among the roots. Some had sprouted already, glowing eerily in the dark. Which, first of all, I just love that. Second of all, I had no idea that jack-o'-lantern mushrooms were a thing. Obviously, that's not like, you know, the technical name for them. But I googled it, and they have been dubbed jack-o'-lantern mushrooms because they are orange and they glow, which I think is very fun. But overall, I really liked this. I feel like it would be a perfect just like short book to throw on your October TBR. I feel like it gives you like some creepy feelings along with like some dark academia vibes going on in there as well. Learning kind of more and more as the story unfolds is very interesting, and how it impacts our characters personally I also really liked. So it's not a favorite, but I never expect novellas to be favorites, so for what it was, I liked it. So there's book 1 done for the vlog. I do still have 2 other books that I want to read. I don't know which one I'm gonna read next though. I might get into The Whispering Dead a little bit. I'm not gonna vlog anything tomorrow because tomorrow's my birthday and I just want to like not do anything really. We're going out to lunch and we're gonna have cake, and then I'm gonna spend the rest of the day playing Animal Crossing because that is how I would like to spend my birthday. But Sunday, I got plans Sunday. I'm gonna start The Whispering Dead. I'm gonna work on my puzzle. It's gonna be so fun. So yes, I will catch up with you guys in a couple of days, hopefully with a little bit of a reading update. Oh, also I did do my October reading journal spread, which I honestly really love how it turned out. I love this like ransom note generator thing that I found online. I feel like it's just such an interesting way to do titles, and I always struggle with doing titles for my reading journal because I always just do like the little arc thing. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about, but like all of them look like that. So it was fun to be able to do something a little bit different, and I definitely wanted to go for like a vintagey sticker vibe kind of thing for it. So I'm very excited to start using that for October. I feel like this is my favorite October setup thus far, like out of all of my October setups. So yeah, very exciting times. I had a really fun time doing that. I also have been listening to The Hero of Ages. I did not like bring that up in this, but I have been listening to the audiobook for it, and I finished it, which is really good because our live show is on Sunday as well. Oh shoot, I have to do that on Sunday. I forgot that was happening. All right, so good thing that I reminded myself, but I've been listening to the audiobook while I've been playing Animal Crossing. So I finally finished it up. And like, I still don't know if I like it or not. I mean, I was really like, I think I like the ending more this time around. Now that I've read more things in the Cosmere, and there are a lot of like things that Brandon Sanderson puts a lot of emphasis on, and I feel like the ending of Mistborn plays into those a lot, so like I get it, but I still don't love it. I still don't love it, and it makes me sad because The Final Empire is like a top tier book, but like The Well of Ascension and The Hero of Ages just aren't. Whatever, I don't want to get into it again because I have talked about it a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. Probably gonna go to sleep. I'm kind of tired, honestly. Like my eyes, they hurt. Anyway, this has been a very chatty update. I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys on Sunday. So it is now Monday morning. I do have my Diet Coke with me, ready to go. I recently got this little insulated mug so my ice would stop melting so quickly, and it was the best decision I've ever made. It's also very cute and spooky, and it glows in the dark, so solid investments from Joann's if anybody wants to know. I honestly don't have like a super substantial reading update for you guys. I have started The Whispering Dead and I am really liking it so far, so that's really good. I just haven't made it super far yet. I'm on page 68, but I thought I would come on, chat to you guys a little bit more. We can talk about how I'm feeling about this book so far. I also got a couple of things for my birthday that I wanted to share because my birthday was on Saturday. It was so lovely, honestly. Like, I feel like this is kind of one of my favorite birthdays that I've had in a while. It was just such a nice day. Like, it was really chill. We went to lunch and then we came back and we had cake. I had a really cute spooky cake, obviously. And then later on, me and my mom went for a little walk. We went to get some pumpkins for the porch, which is obviously very autumnal. Love it. Perfect. And then I sat and played Animal Crossing for like 6 hours straight. Anyway, actually, you know what? Before I talk about this, I do want to show you a couple of the things that I got for my birthday, which I am just incredibly excited about. The first one being a gift from my parents. I got this little like bagoo reusable bag thing and I just wanted to share it because I think it's so freaking cute. It's got, I don't know if I'll be able to show you it super well while it's still in its little package, but it's got like little Peanuts characters on it. I know they have like a bunch of like Peanuts things because they recently did a little collaboration. This thing is huge. But I just love the pattern. I think it's adorable. I love, oh, what's it called? It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. I think that's like the official title of it. I just call it the Halloween special, but I just thought this was so cute. So I definitely heavily hinted to my mom, like, this, please. And then I also got a game from Mackenzie, which was so nice of her. I was shocked, but she has been trying to get me to play Stardew Valley for a very long time, but I decided to pick up Animal Crossing first, but she bought me Stardew Valley for my Switch, which I'm so excited about. I think me and her have plans to kind of play it together, so I think that'll be really fun. And then this last thing is not a birthday present. I just found it at the thrift store and it was very appropriately fall, autumnal, whatever. And it's this little, like, so loud, pumpkin ceramic thing. I love getting like fall and Halloween decor from the thrift store because while I like all of the stuff that you can get in store now, I definitely prefer, like, I don't want to call it vintage because I feel like calling the 90s vintage seems wrong, I guess, but like Halloween decor from like the 90s and early 2000s, that is my favorite, like, kind of fall Halloween decor, you know? So I definitely find a lot of that at the thrift store. And I saw this thing sitting there for $3 and I was like, you are coming home with me. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I love little ceramic things like this, so I'm very excited about it. So those are just a couple of the things that I got for my birthday, which obviously I'm very thankful for all of them. It was just such a lovely birthday. Anyway, let me talk about The Whispering Dead now because, as I said, I am a little bit into this and I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. I feel like this book does such a good job at like immediately pulling you in and grabbing your attention because in the very first chapter we follow our main character Kira as she wakes up in the middle of the woods. She has no idea how she got there. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't remember anything about her life. She has severe amnesia. And we kind of follow her. She, you know, is getting oriented. She hears, I think, gunshots going off around her, and there are people running after her. That is literally like the first page of the book. So immediately you're like, all right, so like we're really getting into it. And I really appreciate that. Like, I cracked this book open last night. I was like, I'm just gonna like read a little bit, get started, you know, but I sat down and read like 40 pages, which I wasn't intending to do, but I was just like immediately like, I need to know what's going on. So we're following Kira as she is, you know, very confused, running away from these people that even though she doesn't know who they are, she knows that like she does not want to be caught by these people. But she ends up running through this graveyard and she finds this home of somebody who I believe is associated with the church, maybe. We're not 100% sure yet. But she runs in, she's like, you gotta hide me, like I don't know what's going on. He is obviously like, all right, yeah, sure. He hides her in the closet. The weird, scary men come knock at the door and he tells them that she's not there, so we know he is, well, we don't know that he's like trustworthy, but at least he didn't turn her in the very beginning. But he has kind of offered her shelter. He realizes that she is, you know, not having a good time. So he offers her the groundskeeper's cottage that is right outside the cemetery so she can stay there for a little bit. But the first night that she is staying in this house, she's like, you know, 10 feet away from this cemetery or whatever. And she keeps seeing things move out in the cemetery. She's hearing these wailing noises coming from the cemetery. And then she literally sees a ghost of an old woman. Obviously, right off the bat, very paranormal, very like it's just throwing these things at you. It's like our main character's on the run from these people, and then she can also see ghosts. And it's just like a lot to kind of throw at you in like the first 20 pages of the book. But honestly, I love that. I've loved the pacing so far. I feel like it's just, you know, right off the bat, we're getting into it. It's exciting, which isn't exactly what I was expecting from this book. I was expecting, I don't know, I guess something more like atmospheric and like slower moving and spooky, but instead it's like, no, our main character's on the run from these weird people. I have guesses as to what is happening. I'm thinking maybe like the government or some organization found out she could like see ghosts and maybe that's why they're after her. I have no idea if that's correct or not. We haven't really gotten any clues about who these people are, but we just know that Kira doesn't like them. So I'm really liking that so far. I feel like the atmosphere, even though it has been like a little bit fast moving, the fact that our main character is currently residing in a cottage right next to a cemetery, like obviously that's incredibly spooky. Obviously that is going to lead to some spooky happenings going on in the book, which I'm very excited about. I'm just really having a good time so far. We've been following Kira after kind of those events as she goes into town and meets a couple of people. So I'm really interested to see how the book is going to progress. It's also like really short. I don't think I realized just how short it was, but it's only like 260 pages. So I will probably be reading a lot of this today. Even though I do want to get back to working on my island, I will also be reading a lot of this. But I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day doing some more reading, doing some more gaming, and just kind of hanging out. So I will see you guys later, maybe tonight, with an update. It is currently Wednesday morning. Also, this is the first time I'm updating you guys like properly in October. I'm so excited. I did not really do anything super exciting, super notable yesterday on the first day of the best month of the year, but I did update my Hobonichi a little bit. I did do a little bit of reading. So obviously I have a couple of updates for you guys. Also, the lighting is very weird. I feel like it's kind of going in and out at this point, so don't mind that. But yeah, let's talk about books because I have like kind of continued this one a little bit and I've started this one. So we have good stuff to talk about. I guess first I'll talk about The Whispering Dead. I haven't read like a ton more of this, but I've read about 70 more pages, I think. And I'm continuing to really enjoy this one. I think I'm definitely going to be continuing on with the series. I do have the second one still checked out from the library. I feel like I've had these for such a long time. But in those 70 pages, we have just been continuing to follow Kira as she is trying to figure out what the heck is going on, basically. We've also seen her kind of forge some new friendships. There's this girl whose name is Zoe who works in the town. And she's a character. She believes in like a bunch of government conspiracies. She thinks like the moon landing is fake, like that kind of vibe, you know. But she immediately believed Kira when, you know, Kira told her her situation, and Zoe is very intrigued by it, so she's trying to help her figure it out. And then there's this other guy who lives in town whose name is Mason, and he is a medical student, I think. He kind of has like a potentially mysterious past to him because he was in medical school, like he went to college and then he got into medical school, and he was like one semester away from finishing and he dropped out. And Zoe seems to think this is like really weird. I'm not sure if that's just her being her or if there is actually something kind of juicy going on there. I don't know, but I'm very interested to find out because when he was first introduced, I was like, is this gonna be a love interest? Potentially. I don't know if there's romance in this series at all, but he was described as having piercing green eyes, and I'm like, why would you say he has piercing green eyes if he's not a love interest, you know? Maybe I'm just looking too much into it. But I'm really excited to see how that kind of plays out over the series and just how all of the kind of friendships that have been formed so far play out, because we're very early into this book. So I'm wondering if any of them are gonna be, you know, not who they say they are. I don't really trust anybody. She also has acquired a cat, which I do absolutely love. This cat just like showed up at the groundskeeper's cottage one day and Kira let her in. And you know, the cat is now not leaving. Like, that is Kira's cat now. Which I think I knew that because there's like a cat on the chapter headings. I figured there was gonna be a cat like coming into it at some point in time. So I've just been really enjoying this so far. I don't know if I'm gonna read any more of it today because I kind of want to focus on the other book that I started because I'm really, really enjoying this one. So solid segue, let's talk about this. I did start The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. I'm currently about 130 pages into it, I think, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. Like, I'm having a really fun time. I never fully read the flap of this book when I got it. I've had it since last year, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go into it, see what the vibe is. I don't need to know what it's about. And I think it's been really fun to go into it that way because I just love the way the story unfolds. Basically, you're following our main character, Mary Jekyll, who is obviously the daughter of Dr. Jekyll, and I think he's been dead for a while, I believe. But in the beginning of this book, her mother dies, and, you know, Mary is left with this estate, but she doesn't have any like financial support because her mother was getting financial support after her father died because she was like the widow. But apparently there's no financial protection for any of the children if the mother dies, so that's pretty awful. No, it's really awful, actually. So Mary's kind of, you know, down on her luck. She doesn't really know what to do, but Mary does a little bit of digging around the house, and that kind of leads her to some clues that pertain Mr. Hyde. Is it Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I think, who is a suspected murderer, but she remembers that when this police investigation was going on, there was a reward for any information pertaining to Dr. Hyde, and obviously she found something that she could bring in, and she also really needs money. And all of this kind of leads her to Sherlock and Watson, who are indeed characters in this book, and she's trying to figure out how she can get this money, but then she kind of ends up being sucked into the mystery herself, basically. And first of all, I love the vibes of this book. It's set in London in the 1890s. It's like dark, gloomy, foggy London weather, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. Like, every time they go outside, it's raining. And I'm like, I wish that was my reality. I also just really enjoy the way that this book is told. I think I mentioned this in my fall TBR. I was aware that this is how this book was told, but kind of seeing it in action I think is really cool. It's not Mary that's writing the book, but it's one of Mary's friends that's like writing this book. And they're basically just like chronicling the adventures that they've gone on, starting with like, I think everything that's kind of kicked it off. And every now and then, like, Mary or one of the other women that is like in this group, they will like interject into the paragraph and be like, that's not what I was thinking at this point in time. And then like the actual writer of the story would be like, yeah, but it would be so much more interesting if you were thinking this, which I think is a really fun way to do it. At first, because I've been listening to the audiobook for this primarily, at first I was really confused. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I feel like once you get it, it makes sense. But at first they're just like saying names and then they're like saying words. I'm like, I don't like what? But now that I do get it, I think it's really cool. I also thought it was really fun that some of the people that are interjecting into the story you haven't met yet. So they're brought up and you're like, who is this? And then like 20 pages later, you kind of figure out who it is. And I just think that's a really fun way to kind of introduce the characters. You get like a little bit of their personality and then you kind of see their like first meeting with Mary and kind of like how things started out. I'm just enjoying this overall a lot so far. I definitely want to continue to listen to my audiobook today. Also, I found out it is narrated by Kate Reading, who might be my favorite audiobook narrator. I'm not sure. She just has such a nice voice, and she has narrated so many of my favorite books. Because she partially narrates the Stormlight books, she also partially narrates the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab, and she also narrates the Lady Trent series. So I've been listening to audiobooks narrated by Kate Reading for years now, so I just absolutely love the way she narrates. So I was very excited when I heard that because I hadn't looked at who the audiobook narrator was. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna listen to this, but I was so excited. You know, if you guys have a favorite audiobook narrator, I would love to know who it is because I definitely do have one. Do you guys have one? Do you listen to audiobooks? I'd love to know. We can chat about that. But anyways, currently about 11 o'clock. I don't have super big plans today, although I do have big plans tomorrow because Cass is actually coming to visit me tomorrow, which is very exciting. I didn't mention it in the intro because initially my plan was to have this vlog wrapped up by now. But, you know, Animal Crossing has well and truly taken over my life, so I have not been doing as much reading as I wanted to, like, over the last week. So, you know, this vlog, it's a bit extended. It's the extended edition, if you will. And, you know, here we are. Wednesday, Cass is coming tomorrow, and she's staying for a couple days, but I thought I could share that with you guys as well. We're gonna do some fall things. We're gonna carve some pumpkins. It's gonna be cute. And I will, you know, obviously film this vlog until I finish these 2 books. I want to finish the books I said I was gonna read. So yeah, that's kind of, you know, general plans that I have for the rest of this vlog. I'm very excited. Haven't seen Cass in like 4 months. 3 months. I think it's only been 3 months, but that's still a long time, but I'm very excited to see her. That is, I think, everything I have to share with you this morning. I think for the rest of the day, I'm going to listen to my audiobook of The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter and probably play more Animal Crossing. My current fixation is getting more black flowers onto my island because I have black lilies and I have black cosmos, but I don't have enough of either of them, and I want more so desperately. So if you guys if you guys want to hear the exciting things I'm getting up to in Animal Crossing, that's that. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stop talking, and I will see you guys later? Eventually. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe Cass will be here the next time I talk to you. I don't know. hello. If I'm looking tired is because... Are you serious? Literally the second I started talking. Come here. You cannot interrupt so rudely and not say hello. Ooh, we have Winnie busted in, as always, right at the most inopportune times. Anyway, it's currently Sunday morning. I woke up 20 minutes ago, so I am a little bit tired. But we have many, many things to chat about this morning. This is also going to be the last day of the vlog, so we've got a lot to do today. First, obviously, the last thing you guys saw is the fact that Cass came to visit me, which was just so fun. I had such a lovely time. I obviously cherish the time that I get to spend with Cass because we don't get to spend a ton of time together. But this visit was just really nice. It was very chill. Obviously, I showed you guys some of the stuff that we did. I went book shopping. I do have some books to show you. We also carved some pumpkins, which you guys saw, which was really fun. I was playing my little Halloween playlist while we were carving the pumpkins too, which was just a really good time. And then yesterday we went to the Ren Fair, which was pretty good. It was really hot, which I complain about the heat all the time, but in my defense, Cass was also complaining about how hot it was because it was like 92 degrees yesterday. I think yesterday is like the last really hot day we're supposed to get, but of course it's the one day that we went to the Ren Fair. But it was still really nice. Here's some photos of us looking very cute at the Ren Fair. And obviously it was just really nice to finally be able to go to a Renaissance festival with Cass because she's like the queen of Renaissance festivals. And I haven't been to one since I was like 8. So that was a crime. It has been remedied. But yeah, it was just so nice, honestly. So I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of B-roll. I didn't update while she was here just because, you know, we were kind of chilling. We were kind of vibing. And I didn't want to, so let me, I guess, go into a couple of books that I have acquired. I bought 2 from half price from the, you know, you saw. And then I got a package in the mail, which I've been waiting for quite a while, so I'm very excited about that as well. I have already opened it. I was a little impatient, but I'm gonna show you guys what it is. So first up, let me show you the books that I got from half price. I think both of them are appropriately spooky, so I might read them. No, do I want to add more books onto my October TBR? I don't know if I need that. But both of these are books that I have been wanting. The first one being The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I have read, you know, like 2 other books by Alex E. Harrow, and I really liked those. So I've been really interested in this one as well. I think it's like women's rights movement-ish-esque things meets witches. So I've heard pretty good things about this one. So when I saw it, I was like, I'll buy this one, yeah. I also had a 15% off coupon from half price for my birthday. So really, it was like 65% off books, you know? So I could always get into that. And then the other book I bought is a new release, but it's one that I've been seeing everywhere. And I think a couple of you guys have also recommended that I pick it up, so I decided to do so. And that is A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. First of all, let's talk about the edition because I think this is so beautiful. I love the kind of like gold foiling on this. I love the sparkles, but I didn't realize it had these really cute little end papers with geese on them because this is a retelling of the Goose Girl, I think. And then it's also got this very pretty foiling on the front of it as well. So when I saw those, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this. I honestly don't know what this is about. I have a very kind of general idea that it's following our main character who has an awful relationship with her mother. And that's kind of all I've got. But I'm still on my mission to, you know, read more T. Kingfisher books. I do believe there's gonna be one that's a 5-star. Honestly, if there's not a T. Kingfisher book that's a 5-star, I'm gonna feel like a clown. But she has so many. I feel like there has to be one out there, so I'm gonna keep trying them because I do typically enjoy them. So I figured why not try out her new release. So we got this one. So those are my 2 little books from half price. I think they're both like very good for fall kind of books, so I was very excited to find both of these. And then the package I got is something I ordered so long ago. Like it feels like an eternity ago that I was, you know, stressing to get this in my grubby little hands, but we have a fairy loot package. Let's just open it and then, you know, you'll see. Now do you know what it is? I'm so excited. So Fairy Loot announced that they were doing a special edition of House Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones, which, you know, obviously I love the movie. I don't love the book quite as much as I love the movie. It feels like blasphemy, I'm sorry. But I still really enjoyed the book when I read it, and I love this cover. I previously owned this in paperback, but when I like bought the Fairy Loot one, I decided to sell that one. So I just, you know, love having this cover again because I think it's so beautiful. I love the colors. I love the like holographic whatever-ness going on the title here. And, you know, it's just very beautiful all the way around. But, oh yeah, it's also got sprayed edges. Hello. Son, stop doing that to me. I think you can kind of see it. It's got like Howl and Sophie down here. I just think these are so cute. Oh, I love it. Then we have nice end papers, but we also have a little design, let me take this off, of the castle in like blue, like turquoise blue foiling, which I think is so pretty. And then we also have like Diana Wynne-Jones's signature on the back in blue foil as well. So this is just so stunning, so beautiful. I'm so happy I have a copy of this. Oh, it's also got a reversible dust jacket. I forgot about that. Ta-da! Although I really like the flaps on this too because they have like little illustrations on them. So I'm just so happy that I got my hands on this because obviously I talk about House Moving Castle all the time. You guys already know if you've been here for any amount of time, you already know. Yeah, I'm just very content with my book acquisitions that I've made recently. So, little book haul. Sorry that took so long. Ooh, just dropped them all. So yeah, and then I also got one little thing of Halloween decor because I bought these little gel clings for my window, which I've never put gel clings on my window before. So I want to put a couple of these on my window this morning. So I think those are kind of all of the things that I need to update you on, aside from like reading updates and such. So shall we talk about those? I think yes, because I have made so much progress in The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. I am currently on page 286. So I think I have about 120 pages left, which confuses me honestly, because I feel like we've made it to the end of like a kind of climactic thing that was happening in the story. So I guess I'm not 100% sure what's gonna happen in the rest of this book, but I'm certainly excited to find out because I've been continuing to really enjoy this. I've been enjoying this so much that I have already gone ahead and bought the second book on Pango, so I should get that sometime soon. I had some Pango bucks sitting there. They just wanted me to do something with them. So I decided I do want to continue the series, so that'll be really nice to have. I also absolutely love the covers for these books. I think they're so pretty. But yeah, let's talk about how this is going so far. I just think it's a really interesting concept to kind of take these very popular sci-fi villains from literature and kind of take a look at how the things they were doing impacted the women in their lives, because obviously the original stories already take a look at the dark side of scientific innovation and how it's impacting that character being the main character. But obviously there are a lot of other people in the story, and this book specifically is taking a look at the women that were a part of those tales, and it's kind of giving them a little bit more of a spotlight, and you kind of see the monstrosities that they had to go through, and you kind of get their side of the story a little bit, which obviously I think is a really cool concept. I've really enjoyed going through all of the kind of main characters that we're following and getting their backstory. Obviously it's become more and more popular to kind of take women from these classic stories and give them more of a voice, which I'm certainly not complaining about because I really like that. But I specifically like it in this one because I love Victorian classics. I don't read a lot of Victorian classics, but you know, conceptually they're great. And one of these days I will read them. I swear. Like, I feel like I've been saying I'm gonna read The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for years. I still haven't done it, but I want to. Especially after reading this one, I'm like, obviously I need to read it now. Don't know if I'm gonna read it anytime soon, but I will make it more of a priority at least. But I just think it's so fun. Like, the vibe of this book is just everything I want because it's dark and creepy and dreary, because we're following these girls as they are up against these, you know, mad scientists essentially who will do anything for the sake of scientific innovation. They're like offering up their daughters. They're like, all right, I don't want to like experiment on myself because, like, you know, we can't be doing that. But like, let's sacrifice my 16-year-old daughter. And I'm like, okay. But I love seeing them be able to take back control in their own lives. It's just very satisfying. And overall, I'm just having a really good time. So I would be very interested to see how the last 120 pages of this book go. I honestly don't know where we're going from here, but I'm along for the ride. I think it'll be really fun. So that's kind of, you know, my update on this. I have to finish this book today because I'm ending this video today because I'm posting this video tomorrow. Solid planning on my part. It's an issue. And then today I'm also going to be finishing up The Whispering Dead because I read like just the smallest amount while Cass was here. I'm not going to give you an update on it because it's not substantial enough to do so. But I'm on page 170 now. I think I have 90 pages left, so I should be able to do both of these. No problem. I'm going to continue to listen to the audiobook for this one, and I'll just read this one physically throughout the day as well. So those are, you know, reading plans. I do have other plans for this morning though, because I really want to throw on some Over the Garden Wall, and I would like to put my little gel clings on my window. So those are my immediate plans for the morning, but lots of reading should commence today as well. So let's just get into having a lovely, chill, cozy Sunday morning. All right, I am very far away from the camera, but Weenie's here and I don't want to move her. Anyway, let's talk final reading updates because I have finished, where did it go? I have finished The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter and I have finished The Whispering Dead by Darcy Coates. Both of these I thoroughly enjoyed, honestly. So let us talk about The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. I am so excited for the second book in the series, and I'm so happy that I bought a copy of it and that it is on its way to me as we speak. But the ending of this book introduced one of my favorite classics. You can probably guess what it is. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I am so excited for the second book in this series. I literally cannot wait. I didn't know that this would be a direction that this series took, but it makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. But I cannot wait to read the second book. I feel like I'm gonna like it even more than I liked this one, so I just can't wait. But I also, hello. But I also just really enjoyed the last 120 pages of this. Hey, okay, stop eating my hair. But I really enjoyed the last 120 pages of this book. We kind of delved into the backstory of the final kind of main character that we're following. And I think hers might have been the most interesting out of the bunch. I just really enjoyed it. Like overall, this was such a solid read. Very much a me book. I feel like if you guys like books such as Anatomy of a Love Story, Stalking Jack the Ripper, you should pick this up because it has those similar like grim, dreary, Victorian, actually I don't think Anatomy of a Love Story is Victorian, I think it's before that, but you know, like historical kind of vibes. It's just really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to get into the rest of this series. I really liked the characters. I really liked the way that the book was written. I just really liked what it did. Solid read, and I'm really glad that I finally got to it because I've been wanting to read this book for a really long time. I've just never gotten around to it. But now that I have read this and I have like 2 other books in the series to read, I'm just so happy. So this was a big win, honestly. And then I also finished up The Whispering Dead. This I also really, really enjoyed. And I'm very interested to get into the other books in the series because I know I told you guys earlier in this vlog that the very first page, we wake up, our main character like doesn't have any memory. She doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know why these people are running after her. And truly this book did not progress that in any way. Which I'm not like mad about, but I think it's interesting, but I'm so curious to see like what's up, like what's going on with that, you know? I feel like this book mainly focused on Kira figuring out her kind of second sight and kind of figuring out how and why she can talk to ghosts, which I thought was really cool. And I really enjoy stories that follow like characters that can talk to ghosts that inevitably have to help them move on to the afterlife. I just think that's a really cool concept, and I feel like there's a lot of different things you can do with it, especially because you always have to like delve into the backstory of the ghost, and then there's like a whole mystery to figure out why they can't move on. And this one, while a bit grim, I still really, really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to move on to the rest of the series. I feel like I like a lot of the characters that were introduced. I really like our main character. I like the general vibes. I feel like it's always raining and dreary in this town. It's like a really small, kind of like weird town, and I love the vibes. Like the vibes were just there. So I'm very, very eager to continue on with both of these series. So those are, you know, 2 out of the 3 books that I read in this vlog, and then I read Graveyard Shift, which feels like it was an eternity ago, but I didn't. And I really like this one too. It's not a favorite. I didn't love it, but I liked it, and I feel like it does have the perfect vibes for October. So those are the 3 books that I read in this vlog, but I do have other things that I need to share with you guys before we go. First of all, I completely forgot to show these to you guys, but obviously we need to talk about it because Cass gave me a couple of things from her shop when she came to see me, and they are stunning and beautiful, and I need to show them off because I love them, and they're currently open for pre-order if you want to check them out. I'll have her shop link down below. But she came out with tote bags, and obviously she gave me 2 because I'm special, what can I say? But they are so cool. We have this nice little dragon design, and we have like all 4 seasons represented. Obviously the fall one is my favorite. It's beautiful and stunning, but we have like a little sand colored tote bag. Check it. Yes, this is giving nothing, all right. And then we also have it in black with some white embroidery on it as well. So, as I said, I will link these down below if you want to check them out. She worked very hard on these and like getting, you know, the perfect tote bag, getting the design to look right. So I'll have that link down below. And then lastly, I wanted to give you guys a final little update on my island in Animal Crossing, because I did start out this vlog by talking a lot about Animal Crossing. So I wanted to show you guys specifically how my home is looking, because I've moved it. I've done a lot of work to it. I think it's looking pretty cute. Also, let me change what my character's wearing. I'll put her in something cute. Here is the little path leading up to my house. I think it's so freaking cute. I'm obsessed. And then I'll also show you my pumpkin patch, if anybody cares. Here is my pumpkin patch. This is what I did for like 3 hours yesterday. And it was so fun. So yeah, Animal Crossing is definitely going well. I'm having a grand time. And honestly, I feel like I started it at the perfect time because there's so much spooky stuff. Oh, I love it. Anyway, I think that is everything that I have to share with you guys at the end of this vlog, because I've read all the books I said I wanted to. I feel like I've shared everything with you now, so I am officially done talking. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I've had such a fun time filming it for you guys, so I hope you found it cozy and relaxing. Also, I would love to hear down below what you guys thought of any of the books that I read in this vlog. Specifically, I'd like to know if any of you guys have read Graveyard Shift and if you liked it or not. I feel like I've seen some dissenting opinions on it so far, so I'd love to know what you guys think. But we could also chat about these too, because as I said, I really enjoyed these. Before we go, I would like to thank everybody over on my Patreon. If you are ever looking for more content from me, that is always linked down below. I'm so excited because at the end of the week that I'm posting this video, so I think like Friday, this coming Friday, we are starting a spooky readathon, which I cannot wait for. I think it's gonna be so fun. So if you guys want to come join us, you could. But with that, I think I'm going to let you guys go. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having an amazing Monday or whatever day it is that you are watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
There we go. Woo. Woo. Up, down. Wait, hold on. Woo.
You're so dumb. Are you seeing this?
Are you seeing this?
It's very cute. Pumpkin review!
Pumpkin review!
Oh wait, it's on manual focus now!
Yeah.